Welcome to the School of Wordcraft and Worldmancy. This is Feedback Frenzy.
Hello and welcome to another Submit Saturday article critique here on WriterGreg School of Worldcraft and Worldmancy. If you too would like to have your 1,500 words of fiction or world-building article critique, please visit wgc.bz/submit, where you could submit your content for inclusion in a future Submit Saturday. This article we're about to provide is from Rugrat in their in this world, the Kadeth homepage. So let's just take a zoom out and take a look at it. All right, looks like we have a single column. Ooh, we have a diagram here. Fun. So this is World Building Summer Camp 2022, a great leader of their people. All right, so it looks like we are going to be getting into some biography and using world anvils, family trees.
Sprinters and marchers, let's go.
All right, let's do this indeed. Thank you, Disembodied Voices. And I really appreciate all of the tooltips. Beautiful little header that you had here. We had rank on another one. Now we see people with this. So really nice how you have the different headers for the different categories. So Omasran. Okay. During the height of the Omasran Empire, one could have asked any citizen of the central region to name an example of leadership, and the answer would have been the founders. Despite their later political maneuverings and even crimes, the public image of the five Lazarica siblings who founded the empire never wavered. In fact, veneration of the founders almost reached the level of god worship. Interesting. Okay, this is kind of cool. So again, great hook, great explanation. The opening name an example of leadership would be that is very specifically answering the question in the prompt directly, but subtly, so that someone not knowing this is a prompt would still be intrigued by what is happening. So I think this is a really good opening paragraph that answers the question of who are the founders and why are they well known and why should you care? Because we got some people, and I love here the contrast. Despite their political maneuverings, despite their crimes, their veneration almost reached the level of god worship. Okay, fanboy to the max. Okay. The Lazarica family were Taranth elves who grew up not far from Chandalar, in what was then the Omasran district of the kingdom of Imhazael. Like so many others, they were frustrated by the state their government had slid into over the years since it became an independent kingdom. The 5 adult siblings dreamed of joining one of the rebel factions and setting up local rule in Omasran. When their father, a blacksmith, was struck and killed by an angry Imhazael noble during a dispute, it strengthened their resolve. It took some careful planning to contact the rebels without endangering their loved ones, but finally they were ready. Leaving their mother and their families in the care of their village, they joined the nearest rebel faction. Within a year, The five had not only made their way into trusted positions of leadership, but they had also united the rebel factions on their side of the mountain into a true army of rebellion. Wow. Okay, so these are adult children, adult siblings with children, with families. Nice. The oldest of the spearhead. Ooh, I love the nickname. The spearhead, the general, the strategist, the blade, the orator. Nice. The oldest of the siblings, Miantha, Miantha, Miantha was always incredibly charming and charismatic. As a rebel, she inspired her people to be braver, bolder, more daring, and more persistent. Impressively creative and relentlessly optimistic, she saw much farther than just an independent region with a small ruler. She dreamed of making the Omasaran name mean something. She shared that vision with others, inspiring them and widening their horizons. She was the top recruiter among all the factions, and not just for her looks. Okay, I'm not seeing any credits for the images here. I'm guessing these are Art Breeder or something. I don't know if that's a problem or not. I mean, usually those kind of things. Yeah, she pretty. Okay. Ilitran. Ilitran was the second born and oldest son. His motivation and confidence had him leading large number of troops. They might credit in the footer. Okay. His motivation and confidence had him leading large number of troops within months. Fellow rebels were calling him the general long before there were any organized ranks. So this is what Ilitran excelled at: organization. He made sure everyone knew what they were supposed to do and who they were supposed to report to. He cleared up the muddled communication practices of the rebels and began instilling a ranking system based on skill. He was also known to be a stickler for details, but he was always dependable. Okay. See, I like that here, the stickler for details. I like that humanizing characteristic in the he's not deific, he's not perfect. He can be a stickler for details. I like that. I don't see that for Myantha. Varel. Vaerl. The third child, Vaerl, was the intellect of the family. The rebels found that he could devise strategies that caught their opponents unawares and could minimize rebel losses even in defeats. He was original and innovative as well as logical, but he also never failed to listen to other people's ideas and incorporate them into his plans if they made sense. Okay, that's a pretty long sentence. He was original as well as logical, but he never failed to listen to other people's ideas and incorporating them in his plan if they made sense. It would be choppy. It might be choppy to cut this just into 3 sentences because they are, if it weren't for the conjunctions of but and, they would be independent clauses and could be their own standalone sentences. So that's just your preference, because it would be he, and it could be maybe a little too choppy. It was said that he was always 5 steps ahead of anyone else, but he never made people feel inferior because of it. I believe numbers 10 or lower should be spelt out. So I would replace this 5 with the letters Five. Ooh. Elenaril. Fiery Elenaril had the good fortune to study under a swordmaster who lived near their village. I don't know if you need the double had. She was the most technically adept of all the siblings when it came to warfare. She had high standards, pushing her people to accomplish more. Yet she set her own standards higher still, and always worked to improve herself, leading her people by example and from the front lines. She never shirked, and her teams knew it. Interesting. So the blade is different than the general. So the general might devise the battle plans, but
Sprinters break, marchers continue.
But she's the one that leads them into battle. Okay, interesting. Youngest child, Paris, had what the women village called a gift of the gab. He could improvise a speech that could rouse a crowd to action or bring them to tears. He was even better when he had time to write his speeches down. His rhetoric wasn't empty, though. He truly believed in the causes they were fighting for, and it showed in his words, both the speeches to the masses and the quiet words of encouragement personalized for his soldiers. His sister, Myantha, credited him for writing more than half of the recruitment speeches she made. He was always chosen to deliver battlefield addresses. Nice. By the end of the war, the siblings were positioned at the top of the rebels' command. Hey, Tempest. The siblings were positioned at the top of the rebel command structure. No other family or group of individuals had done as much for the causes they had. In a unanimous vote, the rebels installed Myantha as their new queen. As always, though, she saw a bigger picture. With the help from Paris, she convinced her new kingdom that they could be far more, like the empires of old. At her coronation, she was crowned as empress, not queen, and she quickly moved to install her siblings into positions of power as well, not to mention the rest of their families. No one objected, for the 5 leaders had won their hearts. All portraits done by Nightflyer 1 with Artbreeder. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Really cool. I mean, do we have linked articles? I presume we have. Oh, yeah, we do have linked articles. Family tree. Our picture. Okay. Just somewhat of a stub, but still very good. Okay, what is awesome? I do really like this family tree chart. That's a excellent use of the features available at World Anvil. They were just really straightforward, well described. I really did feel like I got to know these as characters. I really liked the thing he was known to be a stickler for details. I like knowing something in the paragraph that takes the shine off of one part of their characteristics. Like here, we had fiery Elanriel. If fiery, she has a temper. Okay. Uh, you know, it would be nice. Yes, they were revered as almost god worship, and they could get away everything, even crimes, the public image. These paragraphs sound like they were written by the king's PR department. And if that's what you want it to be, great. It really works well. Armstrong and her articles are so PR, hiding so much, it's ridiculously funny. This one seems more straightforward, but that choice that you make of the authorial voice that you have for your world. Are you a passionate observer? And then what are your passions? Or are you an impassioned observer reporting just the facts? Or are you full propagandist like Emily at Becketville? Okay. But yes, wonderful job with Art Breeder. They really do look like siblings. And good use of the
Sprinters
parents.
begin now. Marchers keep going.
Yeah. I really well done. And even for the short amount of words that you've used here, I really feel like I know these characters well enough that they wouldn't be primary characters in a novel, but they could definitely be good side background characters that help drive the story forward without actually knowing them. But yeah, well done. Well done. And if you'd like to send a like to this article, can you please link this Worldmancy website again? Oh, yeah, there you go. It does, they did really well, Mayan. Yeah. And I try to remember to provide the link. So anyway, thank you so much, everyone, for watching this critique of The Founders by Rugrat. If you would like to have your content, fiction, or world building to be critiqued here, please visit wgc.bz/submit, and you can submit your own content to be critiqued at a future Submit Saturday. Thank you, and
Thanks for watching this feedback frenzy. Be sure to show your support by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and clicking the notification bell. WriterGreg offers coaching sessions to help bring your world to life, create compelling stories, and accomplish your creative goals. Please visit wgc.bz/coaching for more details.